let's talk about altruism, right? Let's start with what is altruism first before we sort of come to effective altruism. Do you want to give it a shot, Varun? What is altruism?
Yeah, I think see, altruism has been part of our society since people came to this planet Earth, right? When we were
Hmm.
formed, right? It's something that is thousands of years old. Ever since human civilization has been on this planet, altruism has been a part of it, right? What made it more, what created a terminology around it is when we started having money as a medium to start engaging with people, right? When
Hmm.
money was formed and discovered or created. But the fundamental thought of altruism is that hey, somebody needs something, does not have it. How can I help that person, right? So I'm sure thousands of years back it was, hey, I have something and you have something, and if you are short of it, let me help you out and give you, be it food or clothing or fire or wood or anything, right? And it's
Hmm.
something that has just evolved over years and years, where before it was created in some form of a barter, that I'll give
Hmm.
you something, you give me something back. We went from there to 2023, where you have something so much and I don't have any, and thereby which let me give you some of it, part some of that to you or with you, that you are able to have a happy life or have a
Hmm.
quality life as well. So it's very deeply rooted, in our DNA, in our genes, in terms of every person on the planet, and it's something that has been with our civilization since its existence.
Hmm.
It's just the way we do it, how we do it, has evolved over the decades and years and centuries.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's deeply rooted in mankind, and I don't
So
think human
what you're
civilization would be here without it.
describing, I think, is a selfless act, if I may call it so, right? So like you're giving something to someone who doesn't have it without expecting anything in return. Maybe that's one way to put it. Himisha, do you want to take a shot at what is altruism and what do you think about selfless acts in general?
I would think that this comes across as something to do with charity. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, what I mean, I know, and I am also one of the people who do charity stuff.
Hmm.
So, it's a good thing. It's always a good thing because,
Hmm.
like Varun said, like if you have something and somebody else doesn't have something, so you want to give. So
Hmm.
that thing that he said about being it has been there for years.
Hmm.
So I would think yeah, it is evolving the
Hmm.
way you give things.
Right.
Like maybe it's just a normal thing of a WhatsApp message on a group saying that my maid's son needs a mobile phone. Does anyone have any
Hmm.
extra?
Hmm.
So that could count as the similar
That's
act.
altruism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
similar act.
altruism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens quite a lot nowadays. So it's just evolving according to the times and days we are living in. So I
Hmm.
suppose it's always a good thing. Whatever form it is, it's a good thing.
Hmm. But I actually asked this question to a lot of people. Varun, Hemisha, both of you can actually give your take on it. Is there such a thing called a selfless act? Right?
I don't
Yeah.
agree.
You don't agree, Hemisha?
No,
Selfless acts?
no. Uh, Selfless, very few people do. Like,
Hmm.
don't want their name to be published anywhere. They'll give everything, like big stars
Hmm.
and all. They give things we don't know about. But at the end of the day, we have that thing in the back of our head, like black money ko white kar rahe types. Something. You have that thing on the back of your head, or there are some people who have this thing in their ego, like I need my name there. You know,
Hmm.
so
So like a
even
PR
if,
exercise.
huh,
Even if it is portrayed as a selfless act, it's actually a PR exercise for them then.
yeah. So I mean, it's just a what do you say impression people have of a certain class of people that they are doing it for this purpose only. They may
True.
not be doing
True.
it, But that's where I feel that the selflessness doesn't count.
Hmm. Like Varun, you see this on a day-to-day basis. I would be surprised if you think there is no selfless act, but please tell me.
Yeah, so see, question like when we think about this, deeply, and in our conversations as well, like the person who is coming on keto, and say we have this user who comes on keto and gives 10 rupees every day, you know
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, question is that what kind of, what is it for him or her by giving
Hmm.
10 rupees, the fact that they believe that they want to wake up every morning and help one person, and that makes them feel good. So if the outcome that they are looking for is that I should feel good about it, then it is not, then you can say, you can ask the question, right? Is it
Yeah.
selfless or non-selfless nature?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
uh, but the idea is that, you earn money to spend, and
Hmm.
you spend on things that make you feel good, right?
Hmm.
And this is another way of feeling good, that you are doing something good in the society or for someone, and I
Hmm.
feel good about it by doing it, right? So many things that you spend money on are not tangible, like actually
Hmm.
fairly intangible, in nature, and this is one of those things, right, where you spend and you feel good about it, you feel good about yourself, you feel like you're creating value in the society, or creating value in your neighborhood, or for somebody
Hmm.
else. And in a nutshell, that's what it is all about, right?
Hmm.
uh, Whereas there is a strata of society which are in it for the PR exercise, or building a brand, and she should people should remember my family name for the next 100 years, like a Rockefeller or someone like that, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
uh, but the again, that the percentage of those people are less than 1%, right?
Yeah, of course.
How many Rockefellers are there, in our
Hmm.
world, right? So I would say the rest 99.99% probably are in it for the, for feeling good, and feeling good
Hmm.
about themselves, that I made a difference, and that's about it.
Hmm. I will actually go deeper into this later as well. There are some interesting concepts of psychology that we can discuss also when it comes to giving and charity. But there is we need to talk about effective altruism, right? So we spoke about altruism in general, but before that, Varun, can you also tell me about a little bit about keto and how it functions and how it fits into this whole concept of altruism as well?
Yeah, so we started Keto 10 years back. 2012 is when we launched it, with the idea of bringing people together to do good. That
Hmm.
was a fundamental thought, and we said that how do we use the internet? Like 2012 was when there was no Swiggy, or I think Zomato had just started, and it was fairly early in the journey of the whole internet landscape as we see it in India today, right? And the thought was that how do we get people to use internet to do good? That was the
Hmm.
second thought we had. And then the thought was that, hey, we have Facebook, and people always sharing things that other people are doing, but sharing is not enough, right? What really can create that change is when money gets transacted, right?
Hmm.
Because if money gets transacted, more good can happen. uh, so we started thinking more deeply about it, and that's when we thought around saying that, hey, how do you build this like online marketplace where everybody who wants to raise money for anything that they're doing comes, and then everybody across the world comes over there and picks and chooses who they want to help and support and do good and etc. So we started working with that idea, and of course, just like any startup or a internet company, you go through so many cycles of trying to figure what works, what can
Hmm.
work, what can make it sustainable, what can make it scale, what can keep you interested to keep running it. So in my journey in 10 years, I would say I have probably seen about 30 other similar platforms come only in India and shut down,
Hmm. Hmm.
where the founders lose interest, or the entrepreneur loses interest, or they can't find a way to scale it, and thereby feel that, hey, this is not a, I should not do this, I'll try and do something else. So you go through those cycles, right, to find that, as you call it, in the internet world, product market fit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Something that works and something that can scale, uh, which is very important. So we went through those cycles and those journeys to constantly try and innovate and see what can, on one side, people needing money is a fairly clear answer, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And to able to find more people who need money is not that difficult. But the idea is that how do you get people to not only give money, which is the easy one to solve, but how do you get them to keep coming back? That's the
Hmm.
hard one to solve, right?
Hmm.
Doing it one time, one off, once a year is not sustainable, right? How do
Hmm.
you make it a habit? How do you, even if it's a small amount of money, even if it's like 100 rupees or 5 rupees a month, which is like, cup of coffee in Starbucks.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
how do you make it, a habit where people constantly keep doing it on a weekly, monthly basis is the hard question to find answers for, and
Hmm.
is fairly difficult to, you know, to constantly cater to a larger and larger audience if we had to.
Right.
So we went through those cycles, and of course, we're always learning. The idea is,
Hmm.
story of life should be you always learn, and you constantly should be waking up wanting to learn and wanting to uh, go and find a better solution for the problem at hand and new ideas today. So we keep doing that.
Interestingly enough, when you mentioned this whole part about getting people to come back, so I come from like my background is in News Laundry, which is a subscription driven news platform. वहां पे भी हम यही बोलते थे कि how do we make it a habit for people to basically subscribe to us and give money to us, and the reason is uh, because I think the news is a public utility which you need to pay for. It for profit doesn't make sense to me in a lot of ways for public utility like health, education, a bunch of other things, right? But that's beside the point. Himisha, have you used keto ever?
So yes, I have. This is the me talking, not the 10-year-old. So,
Go on.
yeah, I have used it. I am in Bangalore, so
Hmm.
I have some friends who are into this type of stuff, like which is charity and all that. So I keep getting like from my friends, like, okay, this certain organization, or there's a child which needs education or clothes or
Hmm.
whatever, like, so can you gift for a
Hmm.
year or something? There's something a year's fees or something.
Hmm.
So those type of things I do.
Okay.
So
um
I am quite aware of this, because of keto I was like, okay, fine, that's the thing. Yeah, I have done
right,
it.
right, right.
So not the diet. I don't
Yeah,
do
not
that.
the diet. So I've also used keto. I remember when Cyclone Amphan happened. One of matlab, our domestic help comes from West Bengal, and her house was washed away, and basically she needed some help rebuilding it, like some 8 lakh rupee or something, whatever. So we used keto to sort of raise funds there. Uh, I was actually quite stunned by how good it was, to be honest,
Hmm.
because and this is my unbiased opinion because I've used it. So I was very stunned by how fast I was able to collect money, also how fast she was able to get the money as well, and how effective the whole process was.